Hey everybody, I'm Becky Adams. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel today. Today I am creating a 12 by 12 single page layout using the Boho Baby collection from Simple Stories. This collection will work for baby boy, baby girl, and even everyday memories. Today I am making a layout and the title is Baby Girl, and I will be using a photo of two of my nieces. So the striped pattern paper is the background, but it's such a beautiful pattern, I don't want to waste even a single bit of it. So I am cutting out the center and leaving just a 1-inch strip around the perimeter to use as my background. So I'll set that striped paper aside, and next I'm going to cut down this gorgeous green pattern paper, and I believe I cut that down to 11 inches square, and it fits just perfectly in the center of this striped background. So I'm using double-sided tape to adhere these two layers together, and I did just a tiny bit of it because here in just a moment I believe I go over to my sewing machine and stitch around the edge of this layout because I want just a little bit of white stitching around the green paper to add just a little bit of texture and kind of finish that edge off. I absolutely love my sewing machine. I would say that probably 99% of my projects have machine stitching around them. So it's definitely a great investment to get a sewing machine. The model that I have is no longer available, but I do have another one that's very similar to mine linked in the description box below. It's obviously taking me just a minute to get this straight. Typically it doesn't take me that long, but for whatever reason I could not. I think it's kind of the diagonal stripe that throws me off a little bit and makes it kind of hard to get everything straight like I want it to. So across the top of this page, I wanted to create a border for a big embellishment cluster. So I trimmed this pink paper down, and I think it's a 3-inch strip if I remember correctly. And then I trimmed it down to 11 inches so that it would fit perfectly across that green paper. So here is the photo that I'm using and some bits and pieces from the title. So what I did to create that, the word baby is a die cut. The word girl I created from the stickers in the sticker book that I showed you. I just took letter stickers, put it on white cardstock to spell out the word girl, and then fussy cut around it so it had a white border that matched the word baby so that they coordinated perfectly together. Another option for this is the Boho Baby collection has stamps that are really cute. I did not have those on hand, or I probably would have used those, but that's an option as well. One of the die cut packs in the Boho Baby collection is clear full of rainbows, the most adorable, whimsical rainbows. And I picked out 4 of them to create this embellishment cluster across the top of the page. And I adhere the bottom of the rainbows just straight to the background, so just with double-sided tape, and then a pop dot at the top so that the top of the rainbow kind of pops off the page just a little bit. To break it up and make it a little, to create a little bit of interest, I use 4 rainbows, and then the die cut in the middle is this adorable, it's like a nursery decor shelf. So there's a shelf with a plant and a little stuffed bunny and the really cute like felt ball garland across the bottom. And I thought that was so adorable, perfect for a story about two little girls. So I adhered that with some pop dots. These are from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. I love their pop dots. And then to create a little bit more texture and interest, I created this really fun border. And what I did was I scored across a piece of, I think it's 1 inch strip of pattern paper. And it's this really fun terracotta pattern. And I did like a bigger score and then a smaller one, and a bigger one and then a smaller one. It doesn't have to be perfect. Mine is definitely not perfect, but it does create that really fun kind of accordion fold. And when I had that all folded and ready to go, I just ran it through my sewing machine carefully, and the border is so cute. You'll be able to see it better in the still shots at the end of the video, but this is a really fun technique that you can do on any project. So I'm adhering that right there under the rainbows. I toyed with the idea of putting a border sticker, that stamped, or the star scalloped border sticker, and I decided against it. I just thought it was too much and a little too dark for what I was going for on this project. So it's time to adhere the photo. I have just one 4x6 portrait photo. I used my T-square ruler to make sure that that was straight before I glued it in place. And now it's time to adhere the title. So this title came from the Page Pieces, which is a smaller die cut pack as far as quantity, but the size of the die cuts is a little bit bigger. And the thought behind it is you can take this one die cut pack and just a couple of pieces of pattern paper and create your very own 2-page spread. I find myself reaching for these page pieces all the time. I love using them for titles, and then the other little bits I use just all over the place in lots of different projects. So let me know in the description box below if you would like to see a 2-page spread using the page pieces. I think that might be really fun to see how it comes together. So let me know what you think, and I could definitely do that with one of the newer collections from Simple Stories that I haven't used the page pieces already. So now that I have my title in place, it's time to adhere my journaling. And the journaling came from the Journaling Bits die cut pack, and I just printed the journaling right onto the die cut. And then I thought it would be a fun look to just put a bit of washi at the top of that, so it kind of looks like it is just taped to the page. And then I could not resist adding a few bits of flower die cuts. The flowers in this collection are so cute and so fun to play with. So I added lots of little flowers and adhere I do both. I adhere part of the flower with like directly to the background, and then part of it I use some pop dots, and you'll see that I use that technique over and over. I just love the look that it gives. So it's flat, kind of tucked against the other bits and pieces, but then part of it pops off the page too and creates lots of fun texture. So I just kind of play with these flowers a little bit, and it takes me a few minutes to get the placement exactly how I want it to. But in the end, I am so happy with how this one came together. So the embellishment clusters, there's definitely that large cluster across the top. And then there's also another big cluster there at the bottom around the title. There's the 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and I'm just going through that, seeing if there are any other bits and pieces that I want to add to this page. I wanted to mimic the felt ball garland that is across the top, and I thought it was really fun to connect the title with the photo. Woo, it's hard to get those words out. And those two are literally connected together now and help draw your eye around the page. So last but certainly not least, it is one of my favorite embellishments is enamel dots. And with this one, went for a tone on tone look. I didn't want to add a whole lot more than what I already had there because I am pretty happy with how everything is looking right now. But I wanted to add just a little bit more texture, and so I went with the tone on tone green enamel dots around the 3 sections of flowers around the title. And then I have the sticker book. Seems to be always where I land with these Simple Stories collections, and I'm just adding a few of these little tiny bits and pieces to finish this layout off. And then I think the last thing that I do, and I kind of wasn't sure where I was going to put the date, and I thought about putting it under there, under the photo, but it kind of made me feel like the page was off balance if I added that right there. So with that, I'm going to call this one finished. I did end up stamping the date right below the title. You can't see it in the photos, but I did that before I put it away. So thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend with me. I would love to have you as a new subscriber here on my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon.